What's up, YouTube? Filthy Casuals back. And respectfully, why give Dylan Brooks 4 years, 80 million? Houston, what the hell? You have a problem. You have a spending problem. I don't know if you need to go to rehab for it. I don't know, like, if somebody hurt you in your past, if there's like an ex, maybe a certain bearded ex that, left you with a certain hole in your heart for problematic behavior, but Dylan Brooks is not it. And boy, do I feel bad for Fred VanVleet for now having to play with that guy. Oh boy, he's gonna have a lot on his plate. Like, he's the only veteran there. I think they just signed Jeff Green as well. So I think that's literally it. So I mean, they got a bunch of children. Now I don't understand why the Rockets would sign Dylan Brooks for that much money. I feel like they could have gotten him for less. Um, and if not, who else was trying to pay that man after what happened in Memphis? Like, I don't know. But moving on, free agency has been a wild, wild roller coaster so far. Plenty of moves have happened. Everything started off really quickly with the Kristaps Porzingis shenaniganry. They were originally going to trade Malcolm Brogdon for him, but then that trade fell through because the Clippers didn't want to take on an injury concern like Malcolm Brogdon. LOL. And then, I mean, they were like, well, shit. Well, how can we still make this move happen? And they really wanted Kristaps Porzingis. And what ended up happening is that I think it was the Wizards, were willing to add more first round capital in order to get Marcus Smart. Um, yeah, just interesting all around. Interesting all around. Um, But moving on, because that was just the start of free agency, we had more and more big news coming out every moment. The Dame Lillard trade sweepstakes kind of started, then sputtered, then began once again in earnest. But now it's kind of looking like there is a smaller market for Dame Lillard than there might have been in past years. I think most of the league is very content with their front court, or with their backcourts rather. Um, and everybody's pretty much just convinced that he's going to the Heat, and it's just a matter of what the third team is doing. The 76ers were in talks as well, but they don't want to put Tyrese Maxey in it, which is fucking stupid. Like, what? I, I was looking at some stuff, and apparently they're not extending Maxi because they want to leave two open spots for max contracts in the future. But why not just trade Maxi and get Dame now? I mean, he's probably the best person to have next to Joel Embiid, point blank, period. And like, if you have to go into the repeater tax, get one of the repeater tax. Harden, the whole problems with Harden, I'll get to, but damn, like, it just doesn't make sense to me that like you wouldn't want Dame Lillard next to Joel Embiid. He's one of, if not the best, well, not the best, but he's the second best floor spacer in the league after Steph Curry. And you have a center who consistently had problems with his previous point guard not being able to shoot threes, his current point guard not being able to shoot threes. And I mean, just get the guy who's really good at shooting threes and be consistent and clutch and is better at pretty much everything than Harden at this point. He's a better driver, he's a better finisher, he's maybe not a better passer because Harden's still a really good passer, but he's you clearly have an opportunity here to close in, and I think the Blazers would much rather have Tyrese Maxey than Tyler Hero. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't think so. I mean, if I was a Blazers fan, I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather Maxey over Hero. Like, Maxey, I think, is just a little bit more well-rounded of a player, and his upside might be slightly higher. So go for that. He would be a good backcourt partner for Scoot. I think better than Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is pretty much just a scorer, and Maxey's got a little bit more finesse to his game, at least in my opinion. So go for that. But they don't want to put him in the trade. So, I mean, fuck the Sixers, right? The other conversations that have been going on with the Heat is they lost Gabe Vincent and lost Max Strus. Everybody was kind of like going, "What the hell?" They're letting everybody walk, or what are they doing? It was for this moment. They were keeping an eye on Dame, eye on the prize, they would say. And Jimmy Butler made it very clear to Heat management that they wanted Dame. Go get Dame. Now it's time. That all started with the Jeremy Grant 160 million over 5 years, arguably the most disgusting deal of the free agency period so far. Like, geez, can you imagine paying that guy max money? Like, I like Jeremy Grant and all, but he's not that guy. And if you're trying to keep Dame, why are you gonna pay Jeremy Grant the max? Like, if he says he's gonna walk to get money elsewhere, I mean, who else is trying to pay him that much money? Like, really? Because Jeremy Grant wasn't that good for the Blazers last year. Like, he was good. He was all right, but they didn't make the play in with those guys, right? Like, they were before they shut Dame down, they were falling out of the play in. So just overall, like, the Portland front office might be the most incompetent in the league right now. Um, Certainly bottom five. I find it hard to believe that anything that they've done is with intention to keep Dame. I mean, it's reportedly that was what the Jeremy Grant money was supposed to do, but I that is so full of BS. I feel like, and even now, like the deal doesn't make sense to keep Dame. It doesn't make sense to get rid of Dame. So why would they do it? It just doesn't. It's like, what is going on in Portland? I don't fucking know. But now they've got Scoot, and hopefully they'll get whatever they get back from Dame. And I mean, I guess that's their rebuild, right? I guess that's their rebuild. Um, Other than that, I feel like there hasn't been amazing stuff. The Bucks brought back Brook Lopez. The Kings re-signed, maxed out Sabonis, so that's been good. Lamelo is working on a 5-year extension, so that's going work been figuring itself out. Westbrook back to the Clippers on a little bit more money than last year, but still, I think a good pickup for them. I think we saw what he could do in the postseason, and I think they're running it back one more time. I think they're like going, hey, like this is what we got, and we're gonna make one last like go at it because there's been reports that they don't want to re-sign those PG and Kawhi to maxes. Which if you're not going to keep them. I don't think. Um, but maybe the rest of the league is of the same mindset. You never know. But I think both of those players would want to move on after their current contracts, anyways. I think they both feel like it's the Clippers experiment has run its course. They can't stay healthy, and if you both can't stay healthy and the team can't stay together, then it's time to move on. DiVincenzo to the Knicks, always lovely to get a good player, a good shooter, a quality veteran. And speaking of the Knicks, we traded Obi Toppin to the Pacers for 2 second-round picks. That's such a shitty package for what is a quality NBA player. We didn't even get a player back, and I understand that we don't really need his talent at the power forward position with Randall, but I don't know. I was of the mindset that if the Knicks really wanted to get better and be better, we needed to trade Randall for something better. The problem is right now Randall's value is a low, so I was expecting for them to hopefully get to the halfway point of the season and then move him for another star level player, um, or have Obi Toppin or one of these other players be a part of, maybe an OG Anunoby trade. But just trading him for 2 second-round picks, I don't understand that move. Maybe there'll be something else that will work itself out and it'll make more sense in the future. But as of right now, I personally don't get what the Knicks are thinking with that. Um, DiVincenzo is. I don't think that we're done making moves. We still have Evan Fournier's contract, which I mean we would love to get rid of. But not a great look for the Knicks. Reeves re-signed for way less than he's worth. Kyrie re-signed on a 3-year deal, which was not his ideal, but I mean, you're a problematic guard at past 30, and I mean, it's still max money. So if he wants to change at the 3rd year of his deal and he's still top tier and he's actually been consistent, maybe another team gives him another max deal. So you never know. Draymond, in the least shocking thing ever after the pool trade, returned to the Warriors on a 100-year deal. So good for him. That was not shocking. The CP3 stuff, I believe I already said my piece on, but I can get into that very briefly. I think it's a good move. I think CP is going to make the bench really good, and because he's playing less than 36 minutes a game, I think he's going to be a little bit more durable. And I know he's going to be like 38, but I mean, he's still Chris Paul, right? He can still pass and run an offense. Like, I think this is the best move the Warriors could have made. They still need a big. They've got Trace Jackson in the draft as a power forward, but I think they need like another like body. I don't know who they're gonna get because right now I think they have Anthony Lamb on the roster still, but um, there's some interesting stuff with that. I think they know they need a big, so they're looking at the market now and seeing what they can get. Middleton returned to the Bucks on a significantly cheaper contract from 40 million to 25 million, which is good. Good for the Bucks. It's going to give them more flexibility. Allowed them to re-sign Brook Lopez on a 2-year deal. 2-year 48 million for Brook Lopez, which I mean totally worth it. I mean the guy's a great player. I heard reports that the Warriors were interested in him, but he was already way too expensive for them. So I don't know what that report was. Like, hey, leave the Bucks and come play with us on like a cheaper deal. Like he's not going to do that. Halliburton got extended for max money. Great deal for the Pacers. The Pacers have been active in free agency. Uh, Great for him. Um, the They also got Bruce Brown on one of the most insane contracts I've seen. 2 years, 45 million. Like for Bruce Brown, like I love Bruce Brown. Great player. He played on the Nets for a while. Was one of my favorite like go guys on that front. But damn, 45 mil for 2 years is crazy. I know the second year is I believe it's a team option, but still good for Bruce Brown. Got paid for the championship. Other news. Cam Johnson re-signed with the Nets. The Nets traded away Joe Harris. They traded away Seth Curry, who's got back to the Mavs. Cam Johnson re-signed. Patty Mills left. Um, and that's pretty much it. Raptors re-signed Jakob Poeltl. And the Lakers, they got Reeves, they got Gabe Vincent, they got D'Angelo Russell again on a 2-year deal. And that's pretty much the extent of free agency thus far. I was going fast and furious. I didn't go super deep into any of these moves. I think free agency is still you know, devolving in front of our eyes. And we are kind of just seeing where things are going to go. I don't think any of the moves so far have really completely shifted the landscape of the NBA. I think I think the Celtics probably made the biggest move of free agency so far with the whole Kristaps Porzingis, Marcus Smart deal. Um, are they done? Are they going to do something else with those 2 first picks? Maybe they can attach those and Malcolm Brogdon and get someone else, or maybe Malcolm Brogdon just remains on the roster. He's a quality player. I mean, he could play. He could take that starting guard spot that Marcus Smart was occupying if healthy. I don't think that is a bad thing for them. He's a good passer. He's a good ball handler. He can shoot. He's efficient. Um, and yeah, it's just a matter of him being healthy. And I guess the Raptors got worse, and I mean the Blazers are obviously gonna not be good this year. So whatever Dame lands, I think is gonna tell us a lot. Not everything is done. Thank you for watching the video. I will come in with another video soon. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Who do you want you to see your team sign? My teams right now really are the Nets, the Knicks, the Warriors. I would love to see the Warriors sign a big. I think we wanted Utah, but Utah did not. I think he ended up going to the Suns, which was definitely not not really good for if you're a Warriors fan. But he went there on a lot less money than I had hoped for. As far as like the remaining centers, like Jakob Pertl just got re-signed, so Mo Wagner got re-signed. I don't know. There's not really many people left. I mean, maybe Thomas Bryant, um, Alex Len, maybe, but that's pretty much it. Maybe you could get Bielitsa from overseas, maybe get overseas guy, but that's pretty much it. For the net, really, unless you can get Dame, I don't really see any other point in making big moves. Like we don't really have much in the way of stuff that we can give up to get a big guy at this point, and most of the big name free agents have already been re-signed. Of course, minus Dame and Harden, but we don't want Harden back. And for the Knicks, really, you want to see some level of shooting. I mean, like really, uh, the DiVincenzo trade was that attempt. And if we can get a little bit more veteran depth, I think at the forward spot, I think that could be it. We've got Hardenstein. Our front court's looking pretty solid. I mean, it's really just running it back and seeing what we can get at this point. But yeah, I think most of free agency is done at this point. We're really just waiting on a last couple of big trades, and we will see where everything lands. So thank you for watching.